Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
Life's better under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
And welcome to this week's Greg Gibson Show. And so last week, you took on the Mission Blue Jackets, came out a 47-7 victor. Why don't you recap that game for us?
Yeah, it was, obviously we closed out our PLAC season and secured third place in the conference behind Paoli and Springs Valley. It was just a game where I thought we played really well. I mean, we got talking to the kids after the game. We've won 5 of our last 7 games, and I think we're playing really well. Our run game, they had a really hard time with it. We were able to get a lot of kids in the mix as far as the run game went. Sawyer had 170 plus yards, and Colin Edwards had a really nice game came in with 90 some yards. And then we also had 2 other backs. Cooper Brown had a limited amount of carries, but still picked up 40 or more yards. And then a little reserve tailback came in the fourth quarter, and he picked up some yards. So it was a nice night. The offensive line did a great job. And then the defense did their job. This was really the score going into the game. We really thought we'd have a hard time at times with these guys with their pass attack, and we really did. I thought our DBs did a really good job. Our linebackers did a good job getting their drops, and we held them to like 28 yards rushing. So I thought it was a complete game. The only downside, maybe we made a couple of miscues on our kickoff team, but coming away to finish out the season the way we did, I was really, really proud and pleased with the guys, and kind of sets us up for the rest of this week.
And you've got to love it. Looking at your stats, you've got 5 guys at carries over 17 yards.
Yeah, I mean, we were very explosive, I thought, Friday night, and a lot of that's our line. The line, and it was a kind of a piecemeal thing. Bodie Cronin really kind of started feeling bad during pregame warm-ups, and he just progressively got worse. And he played, to give him credit, he went out there and he played his heart out for a half, and we finally just had to pull him because he just wasn't feeling very good. So we ended up having some kind of rookie guys thrown in there, and I was, the older guys kind of took over and told those kids what to do, and it turned out well. But we had some really good explosive plays in the run game, and Cole Yeager had a nice little boot action run that he took about 20 some yards for a touchdown. And like I said, it was a team effort, and I was really proud of the guys for kind of coming together.
And Paoli ended up winning conference at 5-0. Springs Valley at 4-1. You're 3-2. The PLAC, I think, is going to make some noise in the tournament.
Well, I do too. I mean, Paoli's in the bottom part of our bracket, and I think they're not disrespecting anybody, but I think they almost have to be a favorite to get to the championship game. Valley's going to give Providence some trouble. I've seen Providence on tape, and they're very talented, but I just think I don't think they've seen a team as physical as Springs Valley is going to be when they play. And so, I think you're right, and we're, I think we're in the mix up there at the top. We're going to take on Posey, and they haven't seen a power run game like ours either. So it's going to be interesting.
And you're listening to the Greg Gibson Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Moseyville Spring Communications. We're back right after these messages for our sponsors.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event. Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
It's time for this week's Buzzer Beaters. Listen as our experts pick the results of 5 local games. Buzzer Beaters, every week exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome back to the Greg Gibson Show. And Coach, a lot of excitement. Sectional starts this week. Everyone's excited. and you get to play at home against North Posey. Why don't you preview that game for us?
Yeah, I mean, we're all excited. It's always good to play at home, and we've played really well at home this year as a group. So I think that's a big advantage for us. Posey comes in. I don't know offhand. They're either 7-2 or 8-1. They played really well. They have a really strong team on both sides of the ball. I'm really impressed with their O-line and their D-line. So that'll be the biggest key come Friday night is who can maintain some dominance there. They got a strong little running back. They like to run up there, and then they got a slot receiver, number 33, who scoots pretty good. So it's a team that we're gonna go into. We're gonna have one thing that helps us. I think the game plan for us defensively is about the same as far as trying to work on our linebacker drops and some of the routes they run. So there's not a lot of reteaching there, other than the fact that they just have a little bit more speed than what Mitchell had. But it's going to be a good ball game. I think it's going to they haven't really, it's kind of like going into Mater Dei last year. Last year, Mater Dei really hadn't seen a power run game in the city. They'd seen a lot of spread and a lot of speed-type teams. And I think Posey and the PAC, they see the same thing. So it'll be something they'll have to adjust to, too, I believe.
And when you look at this game, North Posey's, a very old team, and you're a very young team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's going to be the wild card. But again, this is game 10. So I'm hoping the kids, I thought they really played well. I mentioned the first segment. We went 5-2 over the last 7 games, and they've kind of come together a little bit. But the playoffs are a whole different animal. But yeah, it's definitely they're kind of in the boat we were last year. Last year we were kind of an experienced team going to the playoffs, and then this year they are. So that's always something you have to kind of play into account when you're doing things.
And also, you got Sawyer Gilliam on your team, so 1,585 yards on 160 carries, 25 touchdowns. That speaks volumes right there.
Yeah, and again, and I think obviously he's a big part of what we do, but I've really been happy with our progression of our other backs because, we talked about a while ago, we have 2 other backs. Cohen Edwards has really become a force now. There was one play in particular Friday night where we ran a little fake toss to Sawyer and came back with a trap underneath, and it's on tape. It's hilarious. It's like there's 8 people on chasing Sawyer on that fake on the toss, and so there's only 2 people left on the whole side of the field for Cohen whenever he ran his trap. So it's a thing that teams by right probably should focus on him, but I think they're going to find out they can't just focus on him altogether.
And when you look at the team stats for the year too, you guys have total yards. You guys have 700 more yards than your opponents have, and it speaks volumes for your defense and for your offense.
Yeah, they've got a lot. That's one of the things. I thought the first 2 games of the season, our offense was okay, but our defense was a little behind, and they've just got better and better as the years went on. Coach Malone has done a good job over there with the defense and coming up with game plans week after week. And I think as a staff, we've done a great job of just teaching the young kids their roles. And it's, I think over the last 3 or 4 games, our defense has played really sound. The Valley game, they were just a little bit more physical than we were at times. But other than that, we've played pretty well, I think.
Well, Coach, good luck this week, and we look forward to talking to you next week about a big picture over North Posey.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And you're listening to the Greg Gibson Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosper Communications. We'll see you next week.